This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. We are broadcasting live from the Penthouse Studio high above Underwood Avenue in beautiful downtown Dundee. Show's brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. Glad you've joined us. You won't find another show in the market that talks about what we discuss, and that is Omaha getting bigger, more vibrant, more prosperous, and all around more fun. And with that, speaking of fun, it's time to introduce my co-host, a legendary real estate deal maker, Trenton Bradley Magid.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You can find my middle name at the Nebraska Real Estate Commission's website.
Do you really want to encourage people to look you up at the Nebraska Real Estate Commission?
No.
Okay, he has a pretty clean record, though.
Perfectly clean record, Jeff.
Well, I want to tell everyone some good news, and that is we have, as we do every 2 weeks, a Chris Corey Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review. And this week we review something that is more than just a restaurant. It's two of them, and they're both more than restaurants. They're also bars and entertainments, and they are Champagne Lanes and Ghost Donkey. These are the new related businesses, both owned by Omaha-based Flagship Restaurant Group. They're located in the Brick Line. That's the new building along the north side of the ConAgra campus. That area now is called the Mercantile. And there are other businesses there. Memoir, a really cool restaurant, is there. Tupelo Honey, a southern restaurant, is located in that building, and a lot more things to come. But at any rate, Champagne Lanes and Ghost Donkey next to each other. When you're in Champagne Lanes, the reason they have the word lanes is they have duck pin bowling,
Yes,
which is kind of like mini bowling.
And the pins are actually on like wires.
Oh, so that's how they pull them back up.
Reset them, yeah. And it's harder than you think. We were over there for one of the soft openings, and there's no holes in the balls. You just throw them down, and I'm sure there's a technique to it. I hadn't figured it out yet.
Did you get any strikes?
Came very close. Did I get a strike?
Okay.
Oh, Chris Corey got a strike.
Chris Corey actually is right here in the studio today, ladies and gentlemen. So Chris got a strike. Okay. See, I was at that opening, but I had a conflict, and I didn't get there until the bowling. I skipped the bowling part and just did the food and beverage part.
The coolest thing I thought was at Ghost Donkey, out on the covered patio, they have a foosball table that, like, I think 8 people can play at the same time.
Oh, I did see that.
4 on the side. And Jeff Beals, after I taught him and he went to college, Jeff Beals became quite a foosball champion in the fraternity.
Well, I don't know if I was ever a champion, and I don't want you to give people motivation to call me out and challenge me to foosball games because I haven't played in many years. But to give everyone a little bit of background, Trenton and I have known each other since we were kids. So we're in high school, and he had a foosball table in his basement, and I went over there, and he just kicked my butt at foosball.
I wasn't gracious about it either, to be honest.
He was obnoxious about it, and I just somehow or another was willing to play him 10 times, and I think I pretty much went 0-10. And so then when I went to college, I had some fraternity brothers who were better at foosball than Trenton, and I said, I'll do whatever it takes for you guys to teach me to be a foosball champion.
Come Christmas break.
I don't want to speak too harshly on the radio, but I kicked your ass over and over in foosball. I don't think you've won since.
You're going to get some emails for that one. I think you're right, and I concede.
At any rate, we encourage you to go check out Champagne Lanes and Ghost Donkey. Read the review. All you have to do is go to growomaha.com, and you can see all of our material on growomaha.com. But on the navigation bar, it says reviews. Drop down, you can click either Eats or Flicks. Eats is for restaurants, Flicks is for movies, and you can see Champagne Lanes, Ghost Donkey, and all of our other reviews. Well, let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. They are located at 114th and Davenport. Holly Schneiderwin is charged over there, and she runs a mortgage brokerage firm, which means they are not a bank, nor are they beholden to one bank. They shop the market. It's kind of like when you hire a real estate broker to represent you in a real estate deal. They shop the market on your behalf. That's what mortgage brokers do. And they are fantastic at it. Doesn't matter whether you're going to go a conventional loan or maybe you're going to do FHA, Veterans Administration loans. They have some others. They work with you. They talk with you. Eagle Mortgage really puts you first and really explains the process. They understand it's a big deal to buy a house, and they take good care of you. Once again, 114th in Davenport or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, Trenton, there was a classic Grow Omaha style big time story this week, and that is a major development on the riverfront that together will probably total about $200 million. The Omaha Children's Museum is planning on constructing a very architecturally significant, unique 4-story building at 8th and Douglas. And immediately to the east of that, Omaha's own New Style Development plans to build a 16-story apartment high-rise that would have a pool deck. And this project would come with 2 city-owned parking garages. One would comprise the first 4 floors of the apartment building and be for those residents. The other one would be a 600-stall garage right just to the north that would serve the Children's Museum.
This is an incredible project, 8th and Douglas. And it looks like a pretty skinny sliver of land.
It is.
Right next, just on the south side of the on-ramp to, what is that, 480 going over?
Yeah. So if you're in downtown Omaha and you want to go east into Iowa over the 480 bridge,
Street.
It's that on-ramp. It's kind of a long on-ramp, and the apartment and the Children's Museum would snuggle right up next to that.
What's on that ground now? Anything?
Nothing. In fact, back when the original Heartland of America Park was built in the late 80s, you would park underneath the bridges of 480, and that parking lot is still there. It's fenced off right now. And then you would kind of walk up. There was a big slope, and there were some public restrooms right there. And then you'd come up the slope, and then you'd look down on the lake. It's basically that original slope from the parking lot. And the parking garage that I referred to will be on that old. So the on-ramp from downtown Omaha to 480 to go to Iowa will be between the parking garage and the Children's Museum.
Okay.
And then if you look at the renderings, and we have these renderings on growomaha.com as well as Grow Omaha social media, and you'll see that the building is very imposing as it looks over the park, and that's good. When
bright colors.
When you have an urban park, you want that feeling of it being surrounded by a canyon of cool buildings, and that's what's going to be happening with these parks.
Now, is the timber building that New Style going to build, have we seen renderings, or is there more of a placeholder for that?
We don't know if the rendering that has been released is the final version of it or a temporary rendering. It simply has not been said to the best of my knowledge. I suspect the final version will look very similar to that rendering. They might do some external changes, but my guess is that's what they're going to do. I just want to say, I want to editorialize a little bit on behalf of New Style Development. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very fortunate to have that company in our market.
Todd and Mary. Unbelievable.
Todd and Mary Heastand do amazing work. Right now, the big project that they are, working on is the 700 unit plus Duo, which is the conversion of the Central Park Plaza Twin Towers into an apartment complex. They are moving at lightning speed on that project.
It was funny because somebody on our Facebook page posted, they're giving them tax increment financing. I think it's $18 million for the apartment project, which isn't that much compared to the probably close to $100 million that it costs. But it's like trying to say that, are they worthy? And I'm like, okay, look at some of their projects. The Tip Top building, where the design center is, Old Market Lofts. I think they did the Securities building. They did the Wire. They did the, Ford building.
The High Line, where my nephews live.
And the Exchange at the bank.
And not to mention, somehow another New Style Development was able to take a former hospital and turn it to the
Atlas.
largest apartment building in the state of Nebraska by number of units.
So I would say they're qualified.
I would say they know what they're doing. But yeah, this project is unbelievable. It'll be right along the streetcar line. Projections were that we could get $1.2 billion worth of investment by the end of 2024 slated for the streetcar line. We're already at more than $1.5 billion. So we're way ahead of schedule with that. Downtown Omaha is literally blowing up. And
In a good way.
I would think it's safe to say you ain't seen nothing yet. We're hearing rumors constantly about other projects that are almost for sure, or at least just on the
You still
drawing
have
board.
Civic Square that showed some renderings and stuff about a year ago. See what they do too.
Yeah, a couple other quick news items before we get into the heart of the show. The parking garage at 37th and Farnham in the Blackstone district is now open. Wow. This is part of a 9-story building. The building will have street-level retail and 4 levels of a city-owned parking garage. So it's kind of like they're condoing out the building. The city will own the parking garage. Same thing's going to happen with this new style building at the riverfront we were just talking about. It's a really cool model because the city is now making money on their parking with this new system they installed a couple years ago. And they're keeping it. It's a win-win-win situation. At any rate, the building is not done yet. The apartments on the top 5 floors, the retail space on the ground floor, still working on it, but the parking garage is open. So if you frequent the Blackstone district and you drive there, you now have another parking option.
Now we need one for Benson.
That would be a great idea. And then our final news item this morning, Lawrenson Cryogenic Manufacturing and Repair, which is a local company, a leader in the repair and maintenance of cryogenic and industrial gas equipment, had a groundbreaking this past week on Thursday for a new manufacturing facility. The address is not going to mean much to you, but it's 15130 South 205th Avenue in Gretna. Basically, that's part of that new Gretna, I think they call it Gretna Logistics Park, but that big, huge industrial development on the south side of Interstate 80, south of Nebraska Crossing. Not a huge building. It'll have 5,500 square feet of office and about 37,000 square feet of manufacturing facility, but it'll create 35 new jobs. And it's always good, Trenton. I always get really excited when there's more manufacturing going in Omaha. It is good for our city when we make stuff.
We love data centers, but we love manufacturing that employ a lot more people.
We love to make things. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. When we come back, we're going to talk with Amy Lawrenson. She is with Baird Holm, a law firm that is the exclusive legal partner of Grow Omaha Media. And we're going to talk to her about a couple of legal issues in real estate and business that you will find interesting and important. Plus, you'll love getting to know Amy. So we're going to take our first break of the hour, and when we come back, we'll get into all of that. Many more things planned for later in the show, including in Section 3, we're going to talk about the big lake that is not going to be built west of Gretna, and many other things. So stay with us. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
So this is all recorded for...
Don't say any gossip anything.
They canceled the lake deal?
Basically, the only reason I know this is from a World Herald article this morning, but basically they had Olson and Black and Veatch teamed up to do the exhaustive engineering study over the last year or two, and it finally came out, and they're like, no, on Gretna. It's too much of a threat to the well field.
You want to stay like this, or would you like me to do this? And then we'll just do that.
Thank you, Bill.
What else can you do, Bill?
This is customer service right
What can I
here.
do?
You don't get this at other radio stations.
Can we drop this
Down again, because it is completely covering your face.
Trenton, your microphone is covering my face.
Perfect. Can we change it?
It's Spray the herb.
People want to see this face.
You look like an age progression kid
Jeff, you can
that was like
angle
in
that.
like third grade that was terrorizing the girls in the class.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
That was a really nice
You look
thing
like
to say.
you look like
That really
Biff
made him
from
feel
Back
better
to the
about
Future,
himself.
like when he was a kid.
Biff? Thanks.
Well, he was
I don't want to look like Biff.
He was
Come
an
on now.
asshole. He was
Yeah.
the bully.
I hated Biff. You
I
don't look
hated
like
Biff
that.
too. You're gullible, McFly.
Wait, well, Biff,
Stupid McFly.
see,
You are
he's a
pretty good.
stand-up comic. He still tours.
Biff does?
Does he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you fix it so you can see Jeff's?
I can now see Jeff. Yes, thank you.
But who wouldn't want
I
to
can't see you now though, Trey.
Who wouldn't want to see this face?
You got to do that whole boxing though, and then do this.
Just want to remind you, no touching of the stars while here in the show.
Okay.
Actually,
It's
Jeff,
also
where do you-
important not to touch the microphone.
Yeah, lip fungus.
That's more serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more serious. You don't want to get the
And we
rare.
stop signing body parts.
You don't want to get the rare
Right.
KFAB lip
I
fungus.
get one haircut. He says I look like this.
The rare lip fungus.
Of all the people, I get Biff.
You see, I could be able to sleep tonight.
Jeff came in here and said he cleaned up well, and
Yeah.
you look like
In all fairness,
I compliment
the
him. I like
main
his new haircut.
comment was the best.
I think his new haircut's nice.
I love Back to the Future. It's just like, you call me Biff, and I'm like, I don't want to be that asshole. Come on now.
But if you had no Biff, you wouldn't have,
Yeah. No, he's a great heel.
We're gonna get some.
Because Marty McFly
We
punched.
get critics saying that we're a
Great
family
heel.
show.
Yeah,
I know. I'm going to get in trouble for saying
Really?
I hated
KSS.
number
Yeah.
2.
So
Yeah.
there's a
It's the
lady
weakest one.
3 was.
I'll get.
that wrote it
was
to
fun.
news@growmha.com
I've tried
because have you been
watched
to
two a few
Lolly?
times. He's
Not yet,
I'm gonna
no.
like this
really
I
good.
paid the least for it, but
It's the
you know, the real
weakest.
thing.
Try it.
You know what the
I can
mission?
still enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I said
really good. But
I like to help our listeners out and everything else, and don't do what I did, and that is because they don't have name tags. Just don't ask them what they're in for.
Oh no.
It's it was being a joke, right? And this woman like wrote
And I
this
said-
whole thing
I even
about how
said
offensive
great
that
food.
was and hurtful and
You know, it's a great mission.
we support
And then I
the
said,
mission.
I'm just kidding.
It was a joke. It was funny.
All right, 10 seconds.
Like they're like these ex-prisoners or snowflakes that can't take something like that.
All right, here we go.
I think they can.
I think yeah, they've had worse.
Get time saver traffic updates with Lucy Chapman in the morning and Steve Parker in the afternoon. This is news, weather, and traffic station. News Radio 1110 KFAB.
And Grow Omaha's back, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics, nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. Now, when it comes to Dingman's Collision Center, they are the company you want to call anytime you have an accident, a fender bender, some jerk that parks next to you manages to ding your door because they give you like 6 inches of room between your car and theirs. But when
Thanks
it
for
happens,
the ding, man.
thanks for the ding. I think you just going to their new advertising slogan. At any rate, when that happens to you, just go there. They have 4 metro area locations, soon to be 5. We can't announce where it is yet, but we're busting at the seams. So excited to be able to tell you that it is where? What did you say?
Sorry.
He just indicated that it might be in a suburb where a lot of new things are happening. At any rate,
I don't have permission for that.
Dingman's Collision Center do an outstanding job. We thank them for being a sponsor. Hey, speaking of sponsors, we have a relatively new arrangement started just a few months ago with Baird Holm Law Firm. They are now the exclusive legal partner for Grow Omaha Media. Baird Holm been around a long time. They operate out of the iconic Woodman Tower, and we have a Baird Holm attorney with us today, Amy Lawrenson. She is the head of the real estate section and also does a lot of work with renewable energy law. Amy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jeff. Nice to be here.
It's good to have you, and it's good to have Baird Holm as part of the Grow Omaha team.
Oh, we love it. We're so happy to be part of the team.
Yeah, and I understand you recently cleaned house.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't
Inside joke.
But at any rate, Amy, give us kind of the 30,000-foot overview of just what Baird Holm Law Firm is all about?
Sure. So we are a full-service law firm. We're also very happy to say that we're the oldest law firm in the state. I don't know if you knew that.
Wow.
151 years in operation now. And, it's something that we're really proud of, and we are really actually proud to have a lot of really specialized boutiques within our large law firm. We have about 100 attorneys, largest real estate practicing group in the region as well.
And you are in charge of that real estate practice section. And what all does that involve? I mean, people need attorneys a lot with real estate, but what is real
More of a specialized area.
What is real estate law?
Yeah, I don't think people kind of realize how specialized real estate can be. And it's something that, we have everything from people that specialize in the renewable energy area to people that specialize in zoning, construction, leasing, purchasing, tax increment financing, historic tax credits, everything that touches the ground, we like to say we do. I like to call myself a dirt lawyer.
And there's within commercial real estate, also you have historic tax credits, PACE, which is more energy efficient buildings and things like that. And it gets pretty complicated, especially when you're dealing with sometimes public funds or incentives. And you have to not only work with the planning board, sometimes the mayor's office, your clients, engineers. It gets pretty...
Absolutely. It's not something you want to hire an attorney that just dabbles in it. And
Yeah,
that's where we're really lucky that we have people that's what they do on an everyday basis.
You don't want to go to your family attorney or your estate attorney when you're practicing real estate development.
Probably not. Amy, what are some of the current trends in leasing right now from a legal perspective you might just want to bring up to the listeners?
Sure. So we are seeing some things that have been kind of in the nature of the market being a little bit, I'd say, a little bit softer now than we were seeing a few years ago. It's really allowing landlords to be, in my opinion, a bit more aggressive in the leasing universe. Just by way of example, I'm seeing far more of the triple net leases that have more expenses built into them, that you're going to see landlords pushing a lot more than they did before as far as what they're going to expect the tenant to pay on their side. Likewise, we're seeing on the tenant side a little bit more aggression from the standpoint of wanting to have far more of the exclusive uses built in, having more restrictions for their specializations so that they don't have their competitors right next door to them.
And that gets really, and I deal a lot with leases and sales, and when it comes to especially retail leasing, and there's competing uses, and a pizza place comes into a shopping center or a land development, and they say, we want to be the only pizza place. Well, sometimes you have to go and say, because other restaurants, either existing or not, might have 5 or 10% of their menu items pizza, you don't want to exclude them because you're going to have a pretty quiet shopping center. So sometimes you have to quantify and put further restrictions. And sometimes landlords and tenants don't think through the future, and it can really hurt the tenant mix.
Yeah, I agree completely. And we're seeing unique ways of doing that, too. In addition to the percentage, you might see them put a amount of square feet that they can use within their premises for that exclusive use or their restriction that they might want to put into play there. Or, burn-offs to it, so they only have it for a certain period of time. Likewise, if you're a smart landlord, you're going to say as soon as you default tenant, you lose it.
Absolutely. And then when it comes to the McDonald's of the world, and there are some big boys that concepts that are strong. Chick-fil-A will say, I don't want these 4 specific retailers around me.
Yeah, absolutely. And uniquely, too, where I'm seeing it a lot more is just even on the office side, where you have somebody saying, I don't want another insurance agency in here. I don't want another brokerage firm in here. And that can make it really hard for an office landlord.
Because what it does, number one, on pad sites and real estate, if it's pad sites at a development, that really puts clouds on the title and limits the future use. The other thing is that sometimes developers, they forget that if a Chinese restaurant is going on a pad site and they get an exclusive, they have to put restrictions on all the other pad sites. If that Chinese restaurant goes out in 5, 10, 25 years or whatever, that should be repealed and come off there. So you got to put...
You have to take the time to actually track it down and keep your eye on it.
We're talking with Amy Lawrenson, attorney with Baird Holm, a law firm based in the Woodman Tower and the exclusive legal partner of Grow Omaha Media. And Amy, as we indicated a little bit ago, renewable energy is a practice area kind of part of or related to real estate. And I want to bring up a couple things related to that. And the first one is we've got all these data centers that are coming to Omaha, almost like data center central now. You know, in the metro area, we have 4 Google campuses, Facebook taking up almost a square mile of space. And these are big energy users. And when you listen to what these companies say, Facebook, Meta, some of these others, they talk a lot about renewable energy. Give us an idea about how all of that is relevant to what we're seeing in Omaha these days.
Oh, yeah. They're some of the biggest drivers to the renewable energy market in the state. Because they have a lot of times, like you said, those initiatives where they're going to say we want to, deplete our carbon footprint, or we want to be X% fueled by renewable energy. That means that they have to buy that renewable energy, know that their source is renewable energy. We're in a unique environment in Nebraska because of public power. It's in our Constitution. You can't just go out to the open market and buy power in Nebraska. So you have to buy power from a public utility. So that means that these users have to go to the state or to the local utility market and say, you go find us some renewable energy. And that has to go into actually forming a solar farm or a wind farm to produce enough energy for these big users.
So that's one renewable energy. How else do you define renewable energy?
So, I mean, the biggest producers in Nebraska are always going to be solar and wind. We're seeing a lot more coming into the market now, and these will come to Nebraska with the carbon capture. Obviously, you can have other types of the definition for renewable can get a little loose, too. There's other hydrocarbon type producing that we might see as well.
Well, when we drive to Des Moines, you see the giant windmills. Turbines, they call them?
Turbines, Trenton.
Turbines with fins.
A windmill is that thing that pulls up water from the ground for your trough on the farm.
So do we see that? I've never seen them driving across Nebraska. Maybe I'm taking the back roads or something.
You need to head out west, and you need to head north. You head up to drive up, like, say, 75. You drive across Knox County. You drive across Custer County. You are going to see those wind turbines out there.
Well, because God knows it sure is windy in Nebraska. So,
that's, people don't realize we have one of the highest productivities for wind and solar in the state of Nebraska. We're within the top 10 in a lot of the rankings for the amount of production we can have in the state, but we lag behind by a great deal for actually production of renewable energy here.
Yeah, an area we could certainly grow. Well, Amy Lawrenson is, like I said, head of the real estate section at Baird Holm and also does a lot of stuff with renewable energy. But know this, it's a full-service law firm. They do all sorts of legal services. So even if you need legal services that have nothing to do with real estate, we still want you to get a hold of Baird Holm. And like she said, more than 100 attorneys there, been around for 150 years. Amy, we're really grateful to have you and your colleagues as the exclusive legal partner of Grow Omaha, and appreciate the chance to kind of introduce you to our listeners today.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me stop by.
And you're
Our
easy
pleasure.
to find at BairdHome.com, I believe.
That is accurate. Thanks, Trenton.
BairdHome.com. All right, that's Amy Lawrenson, Baird Holm Law Firm, exclusive legal partner of Grow Omaha Media. Going to take our middle of the show break, and we'll have our news. And when we come back, we have our Noddle Company's commercial real estate development spotlight, and we'll talk about the big, massive lake that is apparently never going to be built west of Gretna.
We go back to Ashland.
We'll see. There's 3 potential alternative spots. At any rate, you're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Good work. Well done. Yeah. Went fast, didn't it?
Yeah, it went really fast.
Yeah, it's
Well, so Chris is the one that edits it.
Yeah.
So he'll edit the segment, and then you can use it and
Okay.
send it to John.
yeah.
That
Sorry.
was evil, by the way.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
made me a little bit nervous when he said it. Like,
It's like, what do you really want me to say? I know.
my overarching thought was cut him off before he says something else.
Thanks, guys. It's nice to be here.
Thanks, Amy.
Take care.
Appreciate you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, we got the news.
I think you got a spare. I think you got at the duck pin.
Yeah, you got
You got a
it.
spare, yeah.
Hey,
That was not easy. I think a spare is probably harder than a strike.
Right.
Strike, you're lucky, yeah. Because a spare, you really have to.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
not easy.
so
to
there's
aim.
something about these duck pins and that not having holes in the ball that makes it tough.
Yeah, I mean, it just, you palm hold it, and it's just...
Maybe I'll be better at it because I suck at regular bowling. So maybe,
I suck at both.
yeah, maybe I'll
I'm
be
not
better
great
at this
bowling
one.
either, but
Yeah.
I love bowling.
I can't.
Nebraska starts at 11.
I have a hard. Yeah.
I like those early games.
Yeah, get it over with. Get the misery over with.
it's not going to be as big of a spanking as last week, though, is it?
It shouldn't be, but,
I don't
but
think-
they're
I don't
but they're a better team. You know,
Yeah.
my guess is we'll play better.
Yeah.
But
Someone told me
I'm
that.
hoping for an upset.
I'm hoping we keep it. I'm hoping we lose. It'd be nice to win, but
Yeah.
my hope is that we only lose by 21 or less.
Yeah.
I would say every good team has a bad day. Let's hope they have a bad day.
Yeah, it's good. Good. The problem is this top 4 team that we're playing lost to their last
Coming
game.
off a bye week.
And they had 2 weeks to get ready, and they're going to be mad.
But if Nebraska loses by 50, then something's really wrong down there.
Yeah.
No one's expecting them to win, but I want to see how mentally tough this team is. I want to see them fight.
I want to see us keep it within 3 touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I really want us to win.
There's
Yeah,
a lot.
if they
There's a
win,
lot of
then-
promise with what they're doing now.
Oh yeah, I think we've got a. I think we got a really good coach.
We're on the
think
right track, I think.
I think he has a couple of assistants that might not be the right guys for the job, but you never know. Time will tell.
Are they holdovers from Frost?
No, he only had the only holdover he has from Frost. I think is pretty
Is
decent.
Donovan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the offensive line can't run block, but I think part of that is the offensive coordinator really doesn't seem to.
He doesn't commit to the run.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
But their pass blocking has been pretty good.
I don't know. I mean, I was listening to 1620 earlier this week, and Peterson brought up a good point when Kevin is it Sutz or Juts down in Lincoln? He's one of the
I
reporters.
don't listen to radio stations that aren't KFAB, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I keep an ear on my competition.
Oh, okay.
No, in all
To report
seriousness,
back to
he brought up,
Scott.
yeah, to tell Scott everything. No, in all seriousness, I mean, he brought up a good point. He's like, our offensive coordinator was asked, well, how many yards of play do you
That was
expect?
embarrassing.
Oh, 3 to 6. You know, you want to know where that would put us? 3 to
Yeah.
6 yards? 118th in the country.
Yeah. That was disturbing. And then,
That
What do you
was
think, Chris?
eye-opening.
Yeah, no, I agree with.
because he was just at a loss with it, and he's like, we need to get more or whatever. I'm like, dude, and this was after he said something like, I need to find a way for us to
Well, he's not an
call
analytics
plays
guy.
that
We know that.
allow us to win. I mean, I'm sure he's a bright football guy, but he did not come across very
I didn't
well.
expect it, but I wasn't surprised.
I didn't watch the press conference, but I did read his comments.
I just was like, wow, that was an eye-opener for
Hey,
me.
I check Husker online every day. I can't help it. I'm a Husker fan.
Yeah, I do too.
Cattle call.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
What was I? Did I steer you properly?
Not at all. It was good.
Good.
Oh, yes. You
Okay.
Is that a bourbon?
What's that?
Did you try momos?
Isn't it all in the same?
Yeah. Did you have a momo or the little Kathmandu momos? Did you have a momo? Those little dumpling appetizer things. That's
No. Okay. So is that something they're known for?
What restaurant
Because
is that?
Kathmandu Momo Station is in there, I think. At Cattle Call on 16th and.
Well, it's all like you got the bar in the kitchen, so I just assume it's like all one restaurant. So.
But you have to have a momo because doesn't it say Kathmandu Momo's station on the?
I have to look at my picture.
On the
again.
outside?
It
Okay.
says cattle call, and then it does say Momo's, but I didn't
Yeah.
look.
Where is this?
So, in the old Culprit Cafe in 16th and Farnham,
Okay.
it's a cool cocktail type bar. They have some food. Moved into that space, and then remember Kathmandu Momo Station for Blackstone District. They also had Spot Exarban. Apparently, they moved in there too, I believe, and it's together.
Okay.
And those momos, bless you. I was never a huge fan of the momos. Some people go crazy over them. I like them.
They're dumplings or what are they?
Yeah, some sort of Asian, is it Nepalese or something like that? Some sort of Asian dumpling. They're good. I'm not as crazy about them as some people are, but they are good. And they're there. They're in there.
I did see them at the bottom of the menu. Okay. I'll add that to my second visit and give that a try.
See, and this is why people should watch Uncut, because you are the only people that are finding out what the next restaurant
one is.
review is going to be. Because other than this, it's a secret.
I was thinking of starting my Instagram going and taking a picture of something obscure inside the restaurant and saying, guess where my next review is?
Oh, that's an interesting.
Seeking.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that popular yet.
Well, I would guess. Of course, I usually tell us. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was good. I had the beef short ribs, and the chef came
I
out
love
and
beef short
explained.
ribs.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's made with risotto, and the chef came out and laid the plate down and explained everything. It sounded delicious, and I'm looking at the plate going, "Where are the short ribs? There's nothing beef on top of it." And I'm like, "These better be buried underneath the risotto because."
And they were.
And
so you excavated a short rib?
Oh, and they were good.
That's very cool. I
Melt in your mouth good.
love braised beef short ribs.
Yeah, me too.
That is one of my favorite dishes.
That's why I ordered it.
Yeah.
And the prices are really reasonable. You know,
I didn't
it's
realize
a small menu, which I like because a small menu means they focus on the quality more.
Yeah.
Generally, you know.
Interesting. We went to Stephanie and Maddie and I went to Charleston's last night. Good old Charleston's, and had a great time. They had like a prime rib special for only $29.
Was it loud in there?
It's too loud. Yeah, that's the one problem. The old building
parking?
was more comfortable. The parking sucks. We parked in Mahogany.
Yeah,
We figured they're the same company, so they probably don't care. But
Mahogany and Charleston's are the same.
Yeah.
yeah, they're all Hal Smith Restaurant Group out of Oklahoma City.
Charleston's it's on Dodge, right?
There's one on
two.
Dodge.
There's
The
two.
74th and Dodge, and then just a little south of Dodge on the 145th.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And anyway,
Here we go.
to be continued.
This is Nebraska's weather and
Yeah,
traffic
it did. Sorry.
Radio 1110 KFAB and KFAB.com, an iHeart radio station.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beal sitting next to Trenton Magid. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. Now, Cheer Athletics is the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. And usually when you think of Cheer Athletics, you think of, okay, this is a place where my kids or grandkids can get involved, learn how to compete, be part of a team, get tremendously physically fit. But Cheer Athletics is also a lot more than that. In fact, Cheer Athletics Omaha is going to be the professional cheer and hype squad for the Omaha Supernovas. That's the professional Major League Volleyball team that we have here in Omaha. And so not only is Cheer Athletics program for kids, but there's going to be professional cheerleading squad that they create and sponsor. In fact, it'll be Omaha's first ever professional cheerleading and hype team. Now, the Supernovas are the champions of last year's inaugural season of the Professional Volleyball Federation. And last year, they averaged 10,000 fans per game. Cheer Athletics is having tryouts to make this team. And if you are maybe a former college cheerleader or a former high school cheerleader, this is a paid position. The tryouts are November 3rd and November 10th at 6:30 p.m. at Cheer Athletics. It's located just southwest of Highways 50 and 370 in Papillion. You just have to attend one of those two dates. If you're interested in trying out and being a professional cheerleader, go to caomaha.com. CA as in Cheer Athletics, caomaha.com. All right, we have our Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week, in which we talk about some Noddle Company's projects and news that are located in those projects. I will say that Noddle Companies is, really the premier development company that is based in Omaha. And I say based in Omaha because they do stuff all over the country. But here in Omaha, Noddle Companies has constructed so many places and spaces. Xarban Village, the Builders District in North Downtown, River's Edge and Council Bluffs. They also have projects like Steel Ridge in the Papillion-Gretna area. They have Village Point West Medical Campus. They've done a lot of corporate headquarters, like Valmont's headquarters and HDR's global headquarters in the last few years. And so we love Noddle Companies. Jay Noddle and the team over there do a fantastic job. So what do we have to tell you today? 2 news items. Both of them involve Xarban Village. The first one is an apartment complex just west of Exarban Village at 71st and Mercy Road. This is right by Community Alliance's new headquarters and the Think Medical building. We told you a few weeks ago that they built a parking garage for this very large apartment building that's going to be going there, hundreds of units. Well, now they've started going vertical on the actual apartments themselves. So if you drive by 72nd and Mercy, you think, what's that? It's going to be a 4-story apartment building that will go with the big parking garage they recently completed. And then a little news item tonight at Exarban Village is Sonny's Season 4 closing night. So Sonny's is that area where they have the Airstream trailer and all of that outdoor fun stuff by the HDR headquarters. Well, for the last 4 years, they've been having these summer Saturday nights where they have food and drink and DJs. That will be there tonight. It's the last one. There's an after party at the Interrail Food Hall right next door. So if you're looking for a fun Halloween themed thing to do tonight, go to Season 4 closing night at Sonny's. And that is your Noddle Company's commercial real estate development spotlight of the week. If you want to learn more about Noddle, just go to noddlecompanies.com. Well, Trenton, we have talked over the last couple of years about this idea that has been floated. See what I did there?
Yeah.
About a massive 4,000 acre plus lake that could be built somewhere near Omaha and or Lincoln to create a badly needed recreational component to the life here in eastern Nebraska. And the legislative committee that came up with this a couple years ago targeted a low-lying area on the Omaha side of the Platte River down the bluff from Gretna. It was a really cool place for it. It would have been shaped nicely, perfectly close to population centers. Appears that it's not going to happen.
It's about a 7-mile lake.
Yeah, 7 miles long, thousands of acres. And so in order to move this thing forward, 2 engineering firms, Olson here in Nebraska and Black and Veatch out of Kansas City, were commissioned to do this study. We've been waiting a long time to get the results of this study. And basically the engineers said, can't build it by Gretna.
So the deal sank?
It is sunk. Too close to the well field supply for the city of Lincoln water service. And that's a serious deal. You can't have things that threaten a water source for hundreds of thousands of people.
So Lincoln killed the Omaha deal.
Thanks a lot, Lincoln. At any rate, there are some alternatives that the engineers brought up. One would be a lake probably about half the size south of Springfield and a little north of Louisville, Nebraska. The second option would be damming the Elkhorn River near Nickerson, Nebraska, which is a little bit northeast of Fremont. And then the third option would be damming Salt Creek between Ashland and Greenwood. I think basically what this tells you, not to be morbid, a good chunk of our Grow Omaha listening audience will probably be deceased before this thing ever gets built.
No question about it, and not to be morbid, but, Hal Dobb was a big champion about 25 years ago about flooding Ashland, and that didn't go over well.
Do you think they'll name a street after Hal in Ashland someday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'll be the one that is underwater.
Yeah, so and this is unfortunate. I think a lot of us knew that it was a long shot when it was first proposed. I mean, for one thing, it was going to be about $1 billion. And then anytime you're in this day and age where you're talking about something huge in a waterway, there are a lot of environmental issues these days. Some very, very valid, and others maybe a little exaggerated, but there are a lot of environmental considerations to take in. And then if you talk about, okay, it's hard to dam a river these days, and the Elkhorn River is fairly major. I don't know.
I damn thee.
We really could use this. It is a big shortfall that we have in this area, a recreational lake, but it's not looking good.
What you could do is just build mountains.
That might be plan B. And with that, we are going to take our final break of the hour, which means that when we come back, it'll be time for your Turner Construction Lightning Round. I'm looking at the list, and there are a lot of things on it. So stay with us. You don't want to miss any of it. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Perkins Kreitzer Construction, Dingman's Collision Center, and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
When you're in the mood for
I said Turner again.
Oops.
Did you really?
You didn't hear it, did you?
No.
I hope Dave isn't listening.
Did you hear? Did
Sorry,
you,
Dave.
Did you do that on purpose when we were talking about cheer or something? And I'm like this, and he said something about fat. What was it?
Oh, I heard it. I think it was like a slip, though. It wasn't.
I said fit.
You're talking about cheer athletics.
Yeah.
We gotta play that. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Didn't I say, like, get your kids
Something like
fit or something like that?
something, but it sounded like fat. And I'm
I think you
like,
said fit, but it sounded a little more like fat. Yeah.
and I had just gone like this.
I knew what you meant, but I'm like, oh.
I'm struggling here today.
You're doing good.
Oh, man.
He calls me.
You're just taking out my comic levity
He
parts.
calls me Biff. We'll start calling him the pale whale.
Oh, that's just hurtful. Okay.
The more serious I am,
I've got much more body hair.
yeah,
I don't know. I got a lot. So
that body hair kind of takes away some of the paleness.
Yes.
What was I going to say?
something profound.
About something.
That's interesting about the legs.
The lake, yeah, it's too bad.
But congratulations to Olson and this other firm. They made bank.
Sure made a lot of money coming up with a report that says don't do it.
They made bank for not having banks in the project.
I'll be an old man if that thing ever gets made.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like it's just like the
It's a shame. Yeah.
expressway.
This is something we really need. We need
What's
a lot.
what's the hot?
Oh,
I saw the land on
The South Sarpy Expressway thing.
what's the road? Cape Heart.
Platteview. Yeah. Don't hold your breath on that either. Yeah.
We could use a new road.
Oh, badly. And you know what we really need, and the problem is the state and the feds are really not
30 seconds.
behind that one. It's just a county deal. What we really need is a true blue freeway that goes down there, and that becomes the truck route, and get those semi trucks off of I-80 through the heart of Omaha.
Maybe our Omaha senators can lobby the Unicamp.
Not gonna happen, probably. How many minutes? ¿Cuántos minutos?
Let's see. 10 seconds.
I mean, for the segment.
Oh, we got about 5.
5? Okay, so we'll have to be. We'll say a lot in a short period of time. It's a lightning round.
Here we go.
All the news, weather, sports, traffic, markets, and business updates, and of course your favorite political commercials. Hope you'll join us. KFAB's Morning News, Monday.
Sign me up for those political commercials, Gary. All right, it's time for the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things in a very short period of time. Thanks to PC Construction for making this possible. Dave Kreitzer, our good friend over there, runs the place, and he has assembled an amazing team, a team of project managers, superintendents, carpenters, laborers, and so many other people, many of them with more than 30 years experience per person. Great construction industry knowledge and experience. Perkins Kreitzer is a full-service Class A contractor. Office here in Omaha, do a lot of work here in Omaha, but they can help you deep into Nebraska, deep into Iowa. And when I say deep, I'm talking North Platte, I'm talking Sioux City, the entire region around here. At any rate, Perkins Kreitzer Construction can help you with healthcare, retail, office, education, religious, industrial buildings, even offices. I said offices, and restaurants.
Just go to p-cconstruction.com.
Thanks to Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making this possible. All right. Construction is underway on Green State Credit Union. This is a building southeast of 180th and West Maple Road. If you haven't heard of Green State Credit Union, don't feel bad. I hadn't either. They're based in Iowa City, and this is their first location west of Des Moines, Iowa. The first building to go vertical in the Papillion Tower District is now under construction and going vertical. And you'll be shocked to hear this, Trenton, but it's going to be a Starbucks.
Get out of here.
Probably about the 8th or 9th Starbucks under construction in the metro area at this time. The Tower District in Papillion is northwest of 84th and Highway 370.
Well, congratulations to Calabretto Building Group. Jesse Calabretto and his team do a fine job, and that's a big project for them, and they will do it well.
Cilantros Mexican Bar and Grill plans to close its location at 144th and F tomorrow, October 27th, but they are going to move to 3309 Oakview Drive. That's a smallish retail building immediately southeast of Oakview Mall. They have not announced a date for that opening, so it looks like they'll probably be offline for a few weeks.
Oh, they're not in the mall. They're on the Ring Road.
Yeah, I think it was
where that.
I think it was the space where Smitty's Burgers was a long
Jimmy
time
John's
ago.
on the other side.
Mookie Lounge has opened in the former Sports Hall space at 38th and Farnham in the Blackstone District. If you know where Lucky Tiger Izakaya is in the Blackstone District, this bar is directly north of that in the same building. Taste of India appears to be moving a few blocks to the north. This is that restaurant in the
mustard-colored building.
Yeah, very, very small building on the northeast corner of 35th and Leavenworth. It's been an Indian restaurant for a long time. It used to be called Mother India there.
And they painted graffiti on the side of their building.
It was the weirdest thing. I was there on one of my Grow Omaha tours. In fact, it's painted, now closed, moved to 36 and Farnham in red paint.
Yeah.
And the paint can and paintbrush is just lying on the ground next to it. And so then, being the Grow Omaha reporter that I am, I went up to 36 in Farnham. No sign of Taste of India, but I looked into the former Farnham House Brewing, and it looks like it could be becoming an Indian restaurant. So maybe that is true. We believe there's going to be a 5-story mixed-use apartment building constructed there. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to see a crowd of excited people earlier this week, you should have been at Village Point on Thursday for Nordstrom Rack opening its 30,000 square foot store in the former
a long time coming.
Bed Bath & Beyond space.
That is a long time coming. It's a great use that's a shot in the arm for Village Point.
Yeah, surprisingly, that's the first Nordstrom Rack ever to open in the state of Nebraska. So on one of my tours, I popped in. It certainly doesn't look like Nordstrom. It's a lot more downplayed from that level of excellence, but I am told that people were very excited about the quality of merchandise and the deals that they got. Hey J Coffee has reopened in a new building at 157th and State Street and 156th and State Street. And the music's playing, which means we're not going to tell you anything else. We're out of here. Appreciate you listening, though. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You have been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, Cheer Athletics, and Perkins Kreitzer Construction. You can learn more by going to growomaha.com anytime, 7 days a week. Hope everyone has a great week. You've been listening to Grow Omaha on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.